Welcome to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast. I'm your host, Dana Lynn Kay, and I'm here with my mother, Mickey. Now, you might recognize her because this woman has gone viral not once, not twice. I think 3 videos we've now made on Devotion Mom because of you.
I don't know why.
I think we might owe the success of Devotion to my mom.
I don't think
it all
so.
comes back to her. If you've seen, it all started with the lemon cake video. So backtracking, I did a Devotion lemon cake. Our mug cakes are so delicious. I've had this. There's like a base recipe for our mug cakes. That's always. We use like a whole egg, applesauce, and then you can use any protein powder flavor. You can add in all the, anything that you want extra with like flavorings or extracts or whatever. But basically, like you mix it all up, you pop it in the microwave, and you flip it over onto a plate, and it's like amazing little mug cake. And then I started making an icing for it because with Devotion, you just add a little bit of water and it makes a protein pudding or icing. And so I was trying to come up with different flavor, combos for the mug cakes. And I did a lemon cake one day, and then you obviously watched the social media, the Devotion, and you saw the lemon cake, right?
Oh, and I love lemon cake.
You love lemon cake?
Well, I mean, I love lemon flavor or lime. Key lime pie is my favorite dessert.
Oh, duh, that's right. Key lime pie is always your favorite. Oh, so the lemon makes sense, yeah.
And then, like when I make my cheesecake, I add lemon zest, and I always think that's
that pops.
The ingredient that really pops it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did your lemon cake, well, one thing I discovered is that lemon concentrate's stronger than lemon.
Well, I use lemon concentrate in my recipe because I said in the video, I don't have lemons. I was like trying to come up with something, and I didn't go to the grocery store. I was like, I don't have lemons.
I thought I was going to make it better than yours by using real lemons.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't enough flavor. Mm-hmm. So then I added lemon concentrate, but then I always add lemon zest.
Yes.
And that is great. And I tried it once without it, and it just wasn't as
Which
good.
I did the lemon zest in the lemon loaf.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like I zested the hell out of a lemon, and it was unbelievable. Yeah. But like I said, some days, like when I make the recipe videos, a lot of times it'll just be on a whim, or I'll look at my watch and I'm like, oh God, I have 30 minutes until the kids get off the bus. Let me make a quick recipe video for TikTok or whatever.
Could you make a new recipe using lemons? Because now I have a bowl of balled lemons sitting in my refrigerator.
Now we need to come up with the pulp, like the inside of the lemon.
Yeah. The juice.
God. Yeah.
I mean, I have all these lemons that have no zest.
You zest the heck out of the lemon. That's right. I didn't even think about it. Like, what are you doing with all the? You just want the lemon. They should sell just lemon peels at the store now.
Well, I said that to my housekeeper.
Business for someone.
You know how they have the herbs in the squeeze bottles? They need to do zest.
Zest. Like that. Oh my God, that's such a good idea.
Oh, Dana. There's something for you.
Yeah, there's an idea for us, a Devotion lemon zest line.
Or freeze dried.
So and it's so funny because some of the best videos that end up going viral, I was in a rush to come record a podcast, and then I was like, I brought over my camera. I'm like, Mom, just do your version because this lady was hitting me up with videos, having everybody try her version and sending me their reactions to prove that her cake was better than my cake. My version is it's so good, Dana. You don't even understand. And then mom would send me a picture of the person. No. You making the cake, then the cake on the plate, then bites out of the cake, and then the empty cake plate. I was like, what is this, a progression I got it.
To show you that it didn't last.
That it didn't last, yeah. And then you would say, okay, put it in the freezer. Oh, no, don't put it in the freezer. Put it in the fridge. Like you were experimenting with like all the different ways to eat the lemon cake. It was hilarious.
By the way, we just made lemon ice cream.
And the creamy. How was that?
Oh, my God.
Really? Okay, so that's another one I haven't done.
Same idea. Just make your creamy like you normally would.
Right.
But use the lemon concentrate and zest.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Oh, and I did put...
Did you put any lemon pudding in it?
Yeah, I did. And it's not sugar-free. But
I have sugar-free pudding if you need it.
Oh, I couldn't find it.
Okay, I'll get it. I'll give you some boxes.
But the other thing is because of, I guess, all the acid doing something to the protein, it looks a little like slimy and weird.
Yeah.
So I was going to throw it away, and then I thought, I already made it. I'll freeze it. I froze it. So what you do is you just put it on restir.
Yeah, the remix or
don't do the other soft ice cream one. You don't need it because it just turns into this super duper creamy.
Oh, lemon ice cream.
Yes. Oh my God. It tastes lemon like the best lemon ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, very soft, but it only needs one mix.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll make a video. Delicious. I'll try it out too.
Oh yeah, it's good. All right, now here's the next thing I need to do.
Okay.
My graham crackers were like so out of date, I had to throw them out. But and I don't know if there's a low sugar graham cracker. Is there?
Yes, there's one. I think by High Key. I think it's called. Okay. Everyone keeps telling me about it.
Boy, if you stirred in some graham cracker crumbs.
Oh God, it would be like a key lime. You could actually do like some kind of key. Like
there's a local ice cream store called Wits.
Yeah, and
they used to have a lemon ice cream with graham cracker. Through it.
God, that sounds so good.
And we loved it, and they don't make it anymore.
Why do they do that? Why do companies
I don't know. It was the best one
discontinue like amazing? But then again, Devotion discontinued things that people get pissed at me about. But I guess
it was my favorite.
Yeah,
so now I'll make my own, and it won't be.
It will be full of sugar and fat and yeah. Okay.
So that's my next creation.
So we quickly whipped up that video. It was like it took us no time at all. I was like, Mom, hurry up, make the cake. And then I really had tried it for the first time on that video, and I was like, oh my God, yours is really good.
Well, because the mistake I made is I'm so excited to have people taste it that I don't think to video them to get their reaction.
Yeah. The initial reaction when you eat that cake, that lemon cake, is like, whoa, because you're not expecting it to be that
and then when I told them I wanted to see their reaction, and I redid it.
Yeah.
They said how much they loved it, but it wasn't.
People are like, and people are bracing themselves because when you think about baking with protein or like a protein, something that's healthy, you're like, okay, yeah, I'll try it. And then you're like, and you taste it and you're like, oh, like people are.
Oh no, everybody's blown away.
That's why they're shocked. Yeah. Even last night, we were doing a TikTok live and I made Bijou the chocolate base on the live with the peanut butter. And Bijou was even kind of like a little nervous, like, all right, Mom, I'll try it. And then she was like, oh my God, like this is protein? Like she couldn't get over it. I mean, it's
great.
All the cakes, the peanut butter chocolate one. We've made Angel Food and vanilla. You can do the chocolate with chocolate. It's like, and then obviously the mocha java, which that one we've got I don't think I've ever done a video on that one, but we do have a mocha java cake. But so that went viral. Like when I say viral, I mean like for Devotion, we've had a handful that have gone into the millions, but that one, I think it's like at 700 something thousand, but I mean like the comments and the amount of people that actually, I mean, it's not one thing when a video goes viral and it's just because it's funny or it's gross or it's whatever. But when it's like a video that goes viral that people are like, oh my God, now I'm going to try. It makes people, like people would say, now I'm buying this stuff or now I have to buy it or now I'm trying this. And then people actually were running, either buying Devotion to try it or going to the grocery store to like get their lemons just to make the cake. I mean, then we started getting tagged on videos because everybody was so excited. I guess there are a lot of lemon lovers out there.
Yeah, there must be.
A lot of lemon lovers. I always tend to think like, oh, I'll do like chocolate, vanilla, like all those things. But when we posted the lemon loaf and now this lemon cake, people went nuts. But people also went nuts over you because it was your 71st birthday. And I kept telling everybody that. And people are blown away at how gracefully you have aged.
And how old your mother is?
No, about how gracefully you've aged. And then there was another video that we did on my TikTok. It wasn't on Devotions, but it was mine. And I just did a video that you didn't even know I was videoing you coming out of your closet. And Mom does have a fabulous closet. And you could see into the closet a little bit. And she was walking out of the closet and she was really just asking for my opinion. I just had done your makeup and we did your hair and everything. And you guys were going to an event on your birthday. And then you came out, you did a little spin and I was like, oh God, you look fabulous. And I was complimenting you, but I was videoing you.
I didn't know you were videoing.
You didn't
In fact, Dana, you posted it. I didn't even know you posted it. I couldn't believe you did that.
Yeah, first I put it on my Instagram stories and then everybody was like, oh my gosh, she looks fabulous. Oh,
it's probably better that way because I'm no... model.
Oh, please. Oh my God. People were complimenting you like crazy. So that went viral.
That was very nice. Thank you.
That went viral on my page. And then people were like, what's her secret? Oh my God. Like people were floored. And then, there were funny comments being like, I can bear, you really were rocking your high heels. You were walking very strong and then doing turns and everything. And women were like, I'm 30 and I can't even walk in heels like that. Or, and then.
Yeah, but I'm 5 feet tall. I've worn high heels, platform shoes forever.
Yes. And yes, exactly.
So
you've definitely always been in higher shoes. And then the other thing is some people were even comparing you saying, oh my God, my mother's, 69 and she can't even figure out how to put on the remote and she is on, has a breathing machine or blah, blah, blah. Like people were saying like how healthy and young and fit you were compared to some other people who were around the same age. And, there were definitely some nasty remarks where people would say, oh, it's because of money. Oh, it's because of money. And I'm like, you know what?
That's a stupid remark.
It's a stupid remark, and I'll tell you why. Because you know what? I'm like, you know what? Fine. If they looked in the closet, they'd see, yes, you're a successful businesswoman. You obviously, have some wealth, but we go to fancy events all the time and see people around your age. And I know plenty of people your age. We know, just because they have money, it doesn't mean they led a healthy lifestyle.
It's not about that.
It's not about that. If just because people have wealth does not mean they live a healthy life, does not mean they lift weights, does not mean they make healthy food choices. Plenty of wealthy people drink heavily. Plenty of them don't care. I have lots of friends who have parents with money and they are not in the health or the condition that you're in. And it's because of your lifestyle. And the other thing is I said to a lot of people, I'm like, money also doesn't buy class. And I will say, Mom, you are a very classy woman. But everybody complimented you on that. They were like, wow. Didn't one person say you would have looked great in a bathrobe? Like that woman would look classy in a bathrobe.
There were a lot of very nice remarks.
Very. And you carry yourself beautifully and you dress beautifully. And you're
embarrassing me.
No, but before you even, your business was a success, you were the same way. You've always been a classy woman and healthy and all those things.
Yeah, no, the way I have conducted my life has been consistent.
Yes.
And
it's carried through your life into older age to now when you're 70, people are blown away. But it's like, okay, well, you didn't just start right now. You didn't decide to get your act together. You obviously have done this all along.
It's like I've said before, like I can't talk about when I was heavy or anything like that because I never was. I have always, tried to maintain my weight at a certain place and I never had any kind of eating disorders or anything. I just always ate a healthy diet. I exercised consistently.
And you're very active. You were never like sitting still. No, you were always, it's not like you were on the couch.
No, I'm more sedentary now.
Well,
with my phone
now, but like growing up,
but I still do. Always, like I just did the stair mill.
Yeah.
I still.
But you were always active. You were always
lift weights every day.
You worked in the yard. Mm-hmm. You were always doing projects. You were very active, and that really helps. There are a lot of people.
You have to stay active. Yeah.
There are women my age who I'm talking about now. Say you going back to my age, where you were doing yard work and you were doing projects and wallpapering, all the different house things. Mm-hmm. I have girlfriends who watch every Netflix episode and they sit and they get their Starbucks. They're not doing the stuff. They're hiring people to do the stuff. You were a person, you were a doer. And doers are obviously, you're more active, you're burning more calories, you're being more active, and so if somebody is more into just, hanging out.
It's interesting. I've seen on the internet lately, a lot of people are talking about how muscle is the fountain of youth.
It is. I've said it forever.
What keeps you young? What allows you to live longer? Mm-hmm. It's muscle.
It's muscle.
And it's a truth because, okay, great. It makes you look better because it's the only form of exercise where you can really sculpt and shape your body.
Yeah.
That's true. I used to say that,
it's
all the different sports, they give you a broad back or skinny legs or whatever they do. But the only one that really shapes your body is weightlifting.
Yeah.
And, but it's also so good for you as you get old, to keep you from falling, keep your spine,
oh my
straight,
God, yeah, your posture, everything, yeah,
abs and back.
Yep.
Yeah, all that's so
Muscle
important.
is the fountain of youth. Whenever anybody asks, so it's funny because people on that post that went viral, like whenever somebody did say, "Oh, it's because of money." Oh, if I look like if I had money, I'd look like that too. And it was like, really,
No, it's not
would
about
you?
that. It's
no,
also
it's not.
you have to educate yourself as to
Yes.
what's important. Okay, the other thing is getting in enough protein.
Yep. Yeah.
I know you and I keep talking about the same topics.
Yeah, but it's important and it's something that people need to hear over and over.
I think a lot of people don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how important it is to keep up your quantity of food, but of the right foods. Because I have 3 sisters, and I see with one of my sisters that she does not eat enough food, and she doesn't eat enough protein.
Yep.
And she had a beautiful figure, but she is getting so thin. She's losing muscle, so it makes your skin hang, and that's a mistake that people make. They think they're getting old, they're not active, that they should eat
People
less.
think because you're getting older, you're supposed to get more frail and you're supposed to
No, they think, they're going to eat less so they don't gain weight.
Yeah.
But you have to eat not only protein, then you need the fats, for your hormones.
Your skin,
and you need
your
the
digestion.
carbs for energy.
Yep.
So anyway, you need all of those macros.
Yep.
Along with some exercise and water, which I never do get enough of.
Yeah. Water's hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's always been for me.
Yeah. I mean, I have to make a conscious effort when I'm really bad about it.
And
if
the
I
other
don't
thing
get
that's important is that you don't eat the same thing over and over and over because you need your micro.
Yeah, all the micronutrients and make sure you're. I'm big with vegetables, so I've always rotated all the vegetables. Like I'll be on different kicks where I'll eat like the eggplant and zucchini, and then I go on red peppers and onions and all the different
All right, here's the other thing that I stopped doing about. God, I keep saying 6 months ago, but maybe now it's almost 9 months ago. I stopped drinking alcohol. Not that I ever.
Yeah, you were never a big drinker.
No, I was never a drinker, but I socially drank. Mm-hmm. But now I haven't had a drink at all.
Yeah.
And because I was trying to get my stomach down more than what it is.
Yeah. And alcohol will slow that process down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I go to something and I don't have a drink, it's like, wow, that was fine. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm glad.
And it's funny
because
you can psychologically, it's like you can say like, okay, I can always have one if I want one, but then
I keep saying that I can have one if I want. Maybe I'll have one.
That's what we said on your birthday. I was like, well, if you feel like you want a champagne, have a champagne, but then like play it by ear. When you get there, if you're like, I don't really need it, like then
no. Then when the night's over and I didn't have anything, I feel glad that I didn't.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just another little thing.
Yeah. No, that's a big thing, actually. It's a big thing for a lot of people because I feel like also alcohol, smoking, I mean, it ages you rapidly. Those are putting toxins in your body.
Now here's the other thing. Like,
okay.
I had gotten to the point where I felt like, oh, when do I, we talked about this once before, like, oh, when do I get to eat the hamburgers and French fries? And when do I get to eat all this other garbage that I typically didn't eat?
Yeah.
So I started indulging in it. And it became too frequent.
Yep.
And again, that showed up on me.
Yeah.
And
on women, it shows up so quickly.
Oh, so quickly. It's horrible.
Ugh.
And to get your body back.
Oh my God. It's horrible.
It takes forever.
Yes.
And here's another thing. You can never get back to what you were. I don't think. Not at my age.
After you let it go for too long
something like that. I mean, we are aging.
Yeah.
It's like your skin starts to lose its elasticity.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back to the person
Aging
you were in
has
your
been really
30s
hard on me already, and I'm just starting. It's already, it's very hard to see the skin get crepey and hang like on my legs. It's hard to see like the lines around my eyes.
See, mine has improved, and that's from lifting heavy and eating.
Okay, well, I've always done all those. I guess my skin
the woman who you had on your podcast, Maria Redmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she does my food diet for me.
Yes.
And, boy, I think she's like doubled my calories from what they used to be when I was
definitely
doing my own.
Yes.
I mean, I'm eating kind of like I used to eat the same foods. You know,
Right.
it's chicken, it's vegetables, it's fish. You know, it's the same kind of food, but my quantities are much more.
Right.
And she always incorporates, you know, the healthy fats.
Which also
And
means you're getting more vitamins and minerals and fiber, and you're getting all those macronutrients, but double, so you're actually, you know, benefiting there as well, not just the calories, not just, you know, which really,
No, I'm getting calories of, you're right,
of the right
nutrients that I
things,
should
and
have.
right.
So that's what you need to
And then
do.
that helps energy levels.
So when I say keep up the calories as you age, it's of the right foods,
right,
you know?
right. And I used to always,
Because you don't want to lose, you know, too much muscle.
yeah. No, you
want to hold on to what you have.
Hold on for dear life as you age, because we're losing it as we
very
get
hard
older.
to build it.
Very hard. Yeah. Very hard. And I know you, I mean, you've been working out. You're now lifting a lot heavier.
I'm lifting heavier. Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about that on the podcast where it's like sometimes she'll just slip you heavier weights that you never thought you could do, and you're just doing it. But all you,
I
so you
used
have the
to
calories,
lift
so you have the
15
energy.
pounds, and now I lift 55.
Oh my God.
I mean,
that's amazing.
Oh, the weights that I use now are really different than what I used to use.
Yeah.
But I thought I couldn't go heavier before.
Yeah.
But I could.
Yeah, you could. But
it's crazy.
Sometimes it's like you just need that person to like say,
I look at Maria like, are you kidding? That's for me. And she just laughs, and then I have to do it.
And then you do it.
And I do it.
Yeah. But that's helping you hold on to all that muscle to keep, I mean, in that video, it's like people who knew what they were looking at made the most amazing, like they were like, you know, like they would comment back to the people who would make the ignorant comments, and they'd say, no, that's weight training. That's, you know, having muscle on your,
I put the work in. That is the truth. I lift consistently, and I make good food choices. I mean, I try to stick with my.
So motivational wise though, you and I sometimes, and like guys, I know you like it when we keep it real. So we've spoken about our lifestyle on other podcasts, and we've said, but keeping it real, like sometimes we do get exhausted from the lifestyle, and sometimes we're like, oh my God. Like
Dana, 2 nights ago, I was on my way home and called my partner Rocky and said, Rocky, I don't want to eat chicken again tonight. Yeah. And he said, I don't either. I'm craving pizza. I said, good, let's have pizza.
Yeah.
And we did. And I had 2 slices of pizza. It was delicious.
Yeah.
With vegetables, a thin crust, and chicken, which is how we get it.
Yeah.
The next day, my muscles looked bigger and better than ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was good for me.
You needed a little refeed. Yeah.
And I didn't feel guilty. It was fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it felt great.
Every now and then we need those like mental like I can go for a while where I'm on. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, like I just need something else, or
Well, you just had your company party.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I ate, cookies.
Oh God, the company party I indulged.
Pecan, whatever,
I ate
nuts,
stuff at the company party. I ate worse at the company party than I did at Thanksgiving. The company party, but
it's okay though. So we did it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. No, you can't live life like eating and then regretting and that. I mean, that's disorder.
No, I don't do that.
You need to like live in the moment. Like, okay, I'm eating this, I'm enjoying, but the key is getting back on track.
That's what I do. And I learned that from you, and I just get right back on track.
Yep. I mean, that's what I've been on my social media. I preach it for years. Like I'll show on my story, there I am going out for hamburger and french fries, or people will see me, I'm going out for Dana, I'm going out for that. But then the next morning I'm like, okay guys, back on track. Here's my oatmeal and devotion. I'm back doing my cardio. I'm going for a walk. I'm doing my stuff. And it's just like, okay, well, how do you stay on track? It's that you never, it's like,
don't feel like you cheated and now you screwed it all up.
Right.
And forget
I don't
you
sit there and
you didn't mess it up
and harp on what I did. Like it's like oh, okay, I'll probably call you. I'll probably complain
because you always do it, and I tell you
exactly the scale always goes up. Now this week is a double whammy for me. This has been a rough week because my period's 10 days late, which is like, oh my God, I'm bloated. The scale is up 10 pounds for me after that company party. And then my hormones, I don't know what's going on with my hormones. I just got my blood work back, and I'm not premenopause. And I am not pregnant. Thank God. I checked that out because I was like freaking out. Like I Bijou's like, because, Bijou has her period now. She just went through puberty and she's like, are you pregnant? She's like, oh, you're putting that kid up for adoption if you're pregnant. I am not getting woken up in the middle of the night by a kid. Oh yeah, she's so fun. Like I was like, Beach, don't worry, you're not the babysitter, and don't worry, I don't want more kids either. You guys are enough. You guys keep me plenty busy. Thank you. But I am like bloated. My stomach looks like I'm pregnant. Like I could probably have another set of twins in there. Like I'm bloated. I feel awful. So this week is like it's mentally like been rough on me because it's like I have to remember, okay, Dana, you took a real big refeed, you're bloated, I'm not drinking enough water, like my hormones, I'm just like waiting to get my period. So I've got my whole body, so all week it's like looking in the mirror, I start like getting anxiety, my body looks soft, my stomach looks soft.
10 pounds. See the scale go up 10 pounds?
It's mind F.
I've never seen that.
I see it all the time.
That's
my body has fluctuated. If you follow me on social media all these years, you'll also know. I mean, you see me, Mom. I get off the plane from California. I'll be up 15 pounds. My rings used to get stuck.
I know. I don't know what
my body swells. My legs swell. If I eat a big meal and I'm traveling and I go on an airplane, God forbid, or my hormones, my body can swell. I can go from looking like a fitness model one day to a swollen, soft little sausage the next day. And it is and it's mentally really exhausting. Yeah.
But then you complain about it in 2 days.
And then I complain and then I got to get my act together and
but you do get strict and then
what I have to do, so I'm going to tell everybody what I do when this happens. So I try.
Is this after you cry?
So after I freak out, after I have to tell everybody, oh my God, because I'm usually maybe around like 134 or whatever. Okay. So the other morning I'm like 142 and I'm like, whoa. And like the scale is up. That's a lot for me. I'm also seeing it on my body. Everything's thick. I have cellulite showing up on the back of my legs that I'm like, oh my God, I never have this. Like my body goes through some really gnarly things and it's very hard on me. And so like I just have to breathe and then I put on clothes. Like you yelled at me the other day because I was wearing big baggy pants, but I was like, I can't help it. Like I can't be in yoga pants right now. I can't be in tight jeans. I can't feel my legs moving like that. I just have to, if I'm going to stay calm, So I put on clothes that make me feel good. I wash my hair. I do my makeup. I just try to okay. Then I settle back into, okay, what are the things that I can stay on track and eat? I set up my water and then now this is an interesting thing between like a meal plan and tracking macros because you've been on a meal plan.
Yes, and I track my macros.
And you track your macros.
Because I don't stick exactly to what I'm supposed to have. So I make changes and then I look at my macros to see what I can adjust to fit. And my days aren't perfect, but they're close enough.
Okay.
I'm not obsessive about anything.
No, you're not, which is great. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. Like you're not
living.
That's the thing.
Like you used to say to me, you're not competing.
You're not. If you're not competing or you're not doing something to make $1 billion and chill out. Like you know what I mean? Like so many people put so much stress. They're like, oh my God, I didn't get in my water, and it's like, okay, tomorrow will be a fresh day. Like it's okay. Or if I didn't, whatever. It's like okay. If your macros, some days my macros don't work out. I have toggled.
Okay. I talk about this. We talk about it only because this is how I've gone my whole life. Yes. How I've kept myself from getting out of whack, like getting too heavy.
This all comes down to feeling good in your own skin. It's whatever makes you feel good. So like that's the thing. I
keep myself in a range.
That's the thing that we're talking about, ladies. Like and gentlemen. We're talking about just like feeling good. Everybody has that spot where they feel good or where they fit the jeans just right, or you're feeling great in your workout clothes or whatever the heck it is. That's what we're talking about. And I've always called it like my sweet spot. And it's not necessarily a number on the scale because now I've built so much muscle that I'm like, well, I don't really know that I belong that low anymore because I've got more muscle on my body. So maybe I used to say 130 was my sweet spot. Now I'm like, well, maybe 134. Like I don't really know what that is, but there are days where I'm like, yes, this feels right. My digestion feels good. My body feels good. everything feels good right here. And so it's always trying to come back to that like
But see,
place
that's
where you feel
what's
good.
important because you should wake up, get dressed, and feel good.
No matter what that is.
Not feeling bad that you're too heavy to enjoy yourself when you get dressed up and go out.
Or feeling like you're too thin. There are sometimes, last year, I had done that reverse diet and then I went into a cut thing and I ended up losing a lot. And all of a sudden I'd put on jeans and I was like, ew, like where's my butt? Like where are my thighs? Like where are my curves? I would put on clothes and I was like, I don't even feel like sexy. Like when I would put on an outfit and I'm like, va va voom. Like I was like, ew, everything is just like hanging on me. Yeah. And it looks kind of ew. It's like not me. It's not exciting.
No, I tell you look boyish.
Right. Yeah. So it's that's why I call it the sweet spot. It's like, because some people are always on this mission to just get skinny. I'm just going to lose weight. I'm lose weight. Okay. But then like there is such thing as like where you go past where you're like, okay, well now you were in this like really great spot where you looked great and then healthy. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're so shredded that now your face is so lean. Your body is so like, that happens to me. It's happened to me.
We're noticing on social media, a lot of people that we knew from the past, who were into fitness and all, they're either going extremely muscular, like a little overboard, or they're going too thin.
So many of these,
and they look.
Fitness.
Here they have this gorgeous figure.
Gorgeous body.
And now they're so emaciated
It's like they just want to get more and more and more shredded and shredded and shredded.
I know,
and
but
it's
don't
like,
they realize it?
And these are women. And it's like.
They're losing their nice look.
Yeah.
They don't even look healthy.
No. It's like you lose your curves, your butt, your everything. And it's like now you just look like a walking skeleton, most of them. They're so shredded. And it's like, I don't like the look of seeing like your entire anatomy. Like I don't need to see every vein, every muscle, bone. I like that like athletic, healthy.
You know what? Everybody likes
what I like.
Different.
I mean,
that's the other thing.
Exactly. And that's
obviously,
just what I like.
And that's fine too.
Right. I mean, there are some people who with the big curvy butts and that's in with the tiny waist and they're getting BBLs because they want that look. Those big, those ones on social media where they show the girls with the gigantic booties and stuff.
Well, obviously that's what they want.
That's what they want. I don't even know how you find pants to fit that. Like we have problems sometimes fitting pants. I'm like, where do they shop? I can't even imagine. Like, but yeah. And so that's what I'm saying, like finding your sweet spot. So my sweet spot, getting back to my sweet spot is basically like, where I know how my arms look in my sweet spot, where I say like, okay, I like them to be a little leaner. You see that I have muscle. You see the caps in my delts. They don't have to have veins coming down them. They're not like shredded, but they're athletic. Same thing with my legs, and it's like, I don't want them to go too big, but I don't want them to go too thin. It's like that just right spot. And I'm always just in that, like, I feel like my whole life has been in that like balance board of going like, whoa, I'm going this way, whoa, I'm going that way, because I'll be on track and I'm keeping it tight and I'm dieting and I'm I'm watching my diet and I'm doing my exercise.
So
and doing my
let's tell
stuff.
people what we do to kind of stay on track. I would say we always have a plan.
So yes, that's what I was
years
getting
ago,
at before.
Dana.
Yes.
We always kept a little spiral notebook on the counter.
So I just did that this week.
Okay, so every day, right? Whenever I feel like I need
to structure,
get back structure in my life, right?
If you're feeling out of control, like okay,
so this is what you do.
Yes,
you go get yourself a little spiral notebook,
a spiral notebook, and then I go very like it's funny, but I do where I write out every meal, and it's not exact. Like I'll put protein, 4 to 5 ounces of protein. So then when it comes time for that meal, like I'll decide, like, am I going to pull out some chicken? Do I want to do like a cup of egg whites? Do I want an egg? Like I'll put that, and I'll put in veggies, which means like, okay, maybe I'll throw green beans in the air fryer. Maybe like I kind of see what I have in my fridge, but that meal is, and then I put 2 ounces of avocado.
But what you do in the morning is
you lay it all out.
I put the date. And then I put a little box.
Yep, the little boxes. I've always done the little boxes.
Down the left, it's all going to end up little boxes, and then I write meal 1.
And then what the meal consists of.
Maybe the first thing I'll write will be vitamins.
Yeah.
Meal 1, and then 2, blah, blah, blah.
And you have to write down everything that you really want to
water.
remember.
I write down cardio.
You could write down your
workout.
steps. Yep.
steps, whatever it is that you would like to accomplish for that day.
Yep.
Write it down with a little box.
All your goals.
And then leave it on your counter with the pencil.
Yes.
And make sure you fill in all the boxes.
That's what I've done.
That's
forever.
how I do it.
My first prep, I did that, and it was like to every.
We did that for years and years and years, and I still like to do it.
Yeah,
I like to look at it right there
this week.
rather than on my phone. Now I do use my Fitness Pal for tracking my macros, which I find helpful. You know, there are many ways that you can figure out what your macros should be and about what your calories should be. You know, and then to keep that on your phone is really helpful because at a glance, you can kind of see how you're doing for the day.
Yes.
So you have a good idea that you didn't go way over on fats or way over on carbs or you got in enough protein. So that's a good way to track.
And there are apps, like I have used Carbon Coach. It's by Lane Norton. And that, if I'm not working with a coach, they'll ask you all your stuff and then they come up with your macros and you'll say how you want to eat. Did you want to eat balanced? Do you want to do keto? Do you want to do whatever it is? And then it'll spit you out what your macros should be that week. Now it's a coach. So you enter it all week. And then at the end of the week, you put in your stats or how you did for the week. And if you were compliant, it does the scientific calculations and it's saying, okay, according to how you reacted to these macros, this is now what you need to do. And so that's another, tool if you can't afford a coach or if you just want to do it on your own, getting an app like that where it's a coach and you check in once a week. It reminds you to check in. It then spits out your macros for that week. And then you put in, do I want to lose? Do I want to maintain? How fast do I want to lose? And so, and I trust BioLane. He's so smart. He put a lot of work into that coaching app. So that's an app that you can use. There's also macro calculators online. And the thing is if you use the macro calculator, start with the macros it gives you and then pay attention to what's happening. And every week, if you're like, okay, I've done these macros for 2 weeks, I haven't really lost, or this is good, or I'm losing, stick to them. Like you got to learn your body and how your body, reacts to the food. A lot of times people want results so quickly. And then they're like impatient. They're like, it's been a whole week. I didn't even know.
The one thing I've never, ever done is all these weird diets.
Yeah.
I'm not into any of that.
Yeah.
I personally do not believe in dieting.
Yeah.
I just believe in being
well, you mean
consistent,
like doing keto,
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that. You're not going to stick with it. I don't think they're healthy.
You've always believed in balanced diet.
Yeah. Eat balanced. Besides, that's real life.
Right.
Eat balanced food, be a normal person.
Diet's like...
And eat the right quantities. That's another thing. We all overeat.
Yep.
I mean, the people who are...
Struggling. Yeah.
No, but sometimes I realize, like, when I think, oh, gee, I've been eating correctly, but I'm not really losing, the way I should, or I'm not
have to
tightening
check
up.
yourself.
It ends up I'm not weighing things, that's another thing. I weigh my food. The protein.
If you really want to be specific and you really want real results, weighing your food, really knowing what's going in, because
and look at the label on the back. I mean the ingredients. The label.
Yeah, nutrition fact panel.
Yeah.
Because the little things can add up. So like there have been times with you where you'll be sticking to a plan perfectly, but then you'll be like, oh, but I also grabbed a few chocolate Hershey Kisses, and then we did this, and then we did that. And the thing is like you're only 5 foot, and like if you do the math, and it's like there are a lot of women out there, they're little women, and the thing is, it's like you could be great all day long on your plan, and then if you do every night, if you have 100 extra calories, say of Hershey Kisses, which is very easy, and then you do that 7 days a week, and now you just had 700 extra calories that week, which can pull you out of a deficit. Depending on...
That's me.
Okay.
I eat those Hershey Kisses.
Well, I did that as an example because like a lot of times you'll say like, oh, God, I don't see a change. And I'm like, well, Mom, those Hershey Kisses, if it's an extra 100 calories and you're supposed to be, say, on a 500 calorie deficit a week, well, now you're actually in a surplus. You have 700 extra calories. And there it is. And like a lot of times it's like, oh, there you go. There I found out why you're not making results. Because when you want to be really serious and really get that body fat off, like when you're competing, that's why competitors are like, no, I'm going to prep. It means no taste, no licks, no nothing.
It's true. Like almond butter, which I use in my diet. I would just estimate a tablespoon until I learned that really you should put the almond butter on the scale and take out, I think it's 16 grams.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
For a tablespoon.
Right.
You just take it out and it goes
negative. But you really
16.
need to know because a tablespoon, there's all those like funny memes that like, it's like what a tablespoon looks like and what I think it looks like. And it's like this huge amount. Yeah, because we all want that to be a tablespoon. I would like that.
But I measure out a tablespoon and then I eat some.
And then you then lick the rest
as
of
if that
food.
Didn't count.
Right. Well, yeah, there are also funny videos about that where somebody's like weighing out chips and then they're like one falls and they eat that one and they're like,
oh yeah, I always act like those don't count.
Those don't count.
And I clean up the ones that aren't whole chips, the partials.
Right. That's what we do. Any of the devotion treats that I make, and then like I'm always cleaning up the edges, clean the edges, and then I wonder like, well, I'm really not making progress. Well, it's like, well, Dana, you ate so much more than what you were allotted to.
I do that,
but that's what it takes when you really, really, really want to like in preps. Like that's why when people make a big deal saying, oh, I'm in prep, it's like that means every lick and taste and those things add up because if you're really looking to get that body fat off and somebody really gets lean, that means I'm sticking to my plan. There is no deviation. This is the plan. These are the macros because all those little extra calories that we do, they add up and then that could throw off your entire prep, your whole plan of like, And
I think it's also important to scan the UPC code.
Yeah.
To get accurate.
To make sure, which I don't even understand how that stuff goes in there because devotions is like old. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like I didn't even enter that stuff. And like devotions is still when it was 22 grams of protein. And I'm like, no, it's 20 grams of protein every scoop of devotion. But when we launched the brand, we had 22 in brownie batter. But yet if you still, and I'm like, I have no way to, where do I enter that? Where is the hub for that? I don't even know. Because I go into the GS1 where I make the barcodes. And as I'm creating barcodes, it doesn't ask for all the macros. It's somebody's creating that. And then what? It's like becomes universal. And I'm like, how do you change it?
I don't know. But people have entered into these apps information that is
not correct at all. Like you actually have to be very careful.
I wish there was a way that we could delete what we find out.
I have done that
that's wrong.
I have done that with a lot of foods. And then I'll like look and I'm like, oh my God.
That's why I scan whatever.
Because I'm like, there's no way, like, and I'll just trust what I see in the app and I pick it, and then I'll be going through my macros and I'm like, this is weird. How am I not like either like I'll be over or I'll be under, and I'm like,
how about when you're doing your macros and then you scan the list to find the one that's the least amount of calories?
Yeah. I mean, God,
the item
you have to be careful with those. You have to be careful with those apps that make sure that it's correct and make sure you're entering the correct serving, the correct amount. It can get really, because you don't even realize that. I've done that many times before where I'll think it's in ounces or it's in grams and then I'm like, oh my God. And one time I was on a plan and I even read the plan wrong and it was supposed to be 3 omega egg, and I read it was 3 eggs, and I was eating 3 eggs for breakfast every morning, and I was only supposed to be having 1. Like those little things can add up.
Yeah,
and they say little. I mean, it's like the big difference between doing
an egg is 70 calories,
and then and I'm eating 3 every morning with like 3 yolks, and I was like, oh my God, that whole week was I mean, it's a lot of like falling on your face and learning and all of that. So, okay. So we're still in the heat of, or in the middle of holiday season. Do we have any more? We do the thing that I am going to struggle with.
We have Christmas.
Well, and that
New
whole,
Year's.
And the whole, like, we do a lot of those like holiday family, like buffet style things. And those are hard.
Oh, how about our, New Year's Eve, we go to our
Oh God, that's hard.
For a fair.
My mom, it belongs to a club that does a street fair theme, and it's all this food from around the world.
You pay to go, and then
it's
once
unlimited.
You get there, it's unlimited food.
So you can get donut. You can get as much as you want.
My
You're
God.
not,
things I had never had before, like fried Oreos.
Oh, funnel cakes. They always have funnel cakes.
Oh my God. And you just take whatever you want.
And then
much as you want.
Oh my God, they always do such good stuff. And
Plus good food.
Yeah, no, it's really good. That's the problem. It's so good. I'm always happy when I go somewhere the food's crap. I'm like, oh good, I don't have to feel bad. But no, whenever we go to anything there, it's always so good.
I know, but we know that that's going to happen.
We know. So we have to. So on the
I'm
days
not saying
around,
I'm not eating that.
No, same with me.
It.
Every year I always say, okay, this happens once a year. Yeah. Holiday time. This has been. The holiday time's the hardest time for me.
Okay, so we get through it, and then, like everybody else, we'll get back on track.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you're not at the fair, you still have to stick with your healthy eating.
And I don't say January 1 is go time. Do you do that shit? I don't do that
God,
shit.
no.
No.
God,
it's all the time is go time. Today I woke up, I did my cardio, I'm still eating on plan.
Me too.
I just then, like, I'm going to know. So Christmas Day, Greg and I have made like a tradition that we eat Chinese food at this really great. I always know that like there are things that we do, but like I have to then plan accordingly, and I have to know like the days before, like I can't be eating like a jerk and then also go eat Chinese on top of that, and then also know that we're going to go to the street fair, and then know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That those things add up, and then that's where I get in trouble. Because it's like one thing after another. It's not just because a lot of times people will say like, oh, Christmas is just a day. It's one day. But it's like, okay, maybe in your family, but ours, we do all kinds of things throughout the holiday.
I think everybody does.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw a post where somebody was like, it's one day. I'm like, no, it's kind of not. It's a whole season, like the whole month. Actually, starting from.
Well, Christmas is one day, but celebrations
But the whole holiday
are
season, you know, there's like a.
Look, you do the best you can. You go
Yeah.
to a party, you eat whatever you eat. You do the best you can.
Yeah. So I usually don't do, what is it? New Year's Day, like is my day one, but I don't want to call them resolutions, but I do kind of set goals. I did it for devotion. I did it for myself, where I will write down like my intentions for a fresh new year. And I like doing that, like where I'll say, like, if I want to get back into hot yoga, if I need to do that once a month, or I set goals for devotion, like say if I want to do more TikTok lives, or if I do set my intentions for the year of things I'd like to accomplish, and I do find, like I do that at my office. I have a whole whiteboard in front of my desk, and I put all of our 2023 goals. And it's so satisfying to see like all these goals cross off. Oh my God, we did that. And it's like, so I do that for my personal life. I do that. Like I'll say this year I want to do another photo shoot, or this year I want to do another, and I'll set these these intentions.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great. That's how you should run your life.
And then what I do is after I set the intention and I say I want to do it, I put it into action. So then what I'll do is I'll then go buy a hot yoga package. And then I'll say to Greg, okay, every Thursday night, let's just start going to hot yoga. Let's do it. And then I'll even pre-book the classes. Like I have to, you can't just say it. Don't just be a sayer, but set your intention, take action. Say, even for like your daily steps or your daily anything, it can be small, but then like do it, take action, make a sheet, make a goal sheet, write the things down. One year I wrote down all that I wanted out of like the year. And I just folded up the piece of paper. I wrote like a few pages. I folded up the piece of paper. I put it away. And at the end of the year, I like found the paper. I unfolded it and I read it, and I was like, holy cow, just the power of like writing it down and like putting it out there. You've always
been good like that, Dana. You say what you're going to do when you do it.
I always say I like to put things out into the universe.
People, yeah.
I like to put things out into the universe. I like to say I'm going to do it. And it just makes my word, I don't know, to myself.
See, and I don't say I'm going to do it because I don't want to be committed.
You don't want to be. Oh my God.
A lot of things I do
you're so
in
accomplished.
private.
I mean, but you're so accomplished. So, I mean, it proves that, you can accomplish things.
Yeah, but I won't say it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll compete with somebody without them knowing it.
Okay. Yes.
Like right now, Rocky doesn't know we're in a competition. Unless he listens
in
to
better
this.
shape.
Yeah. He's working away and I have to.
And you're working away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Well, I mean,
It's like he keeps showing me his abs. It's like, okay, that's real nice, but mine are going to be like
yours
that
are,
too.
yeah, exactly. Just you wait. Just you
What
wait.
do you think? I'm not going to.
I'm chipping away. It keeps the edge. I always like when I had Nicole on it for Just Lift, we were talking about like the classes, and I'm like, the classes aren't necessarily competitive because it's like, well, I'm competing against all these other women that are in there just doing a weight training class, but like I will look over at a woman and she's using some weight or she's doing something. And then like I saw a woman do like a girl doing like the hanging leg raise with the abs, like where you pull your knees up. And then like, not that I gave a crap to compete against her. I don't even know her name. I don't know who she is, but like, because I saw her do it and everyone's like clapping and they're impressed. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do that. And
Shayna, that's how you inspire me when I
Yes.
see you, that you're out there.
doing my stuff.
Well, even taking the dog for a walk, and I'm sitting in my kitchen looking at my phone. I'm like, oh God, Dana's walking.
You're like, I gotta
then
get
I
up
have
and
to
walk.
get up and go walk.
Yeah, but it gives
But
you
that's the
that
inspiration you get from whether it's you or from somebody
seeing
else.
somebody else do it. So like she
I guess
did
that's
15,
why you follow people.
and like everyone's clapping the class like, yeah, she did 15 leg lifts. I'm like, I'm going to 25. Like I was just like in my head, and it's like nobody knows I'm competing. Nobody watched me. Nobody gives a crap. But for me, I was just like, all right, like she just gave me a little challenge and now I'm going to do that. But maybe if I hadn't seen her do it, like maybe I would have gotten to my turn and been like, oh, I'll do 10. But like it's that little, it was just good. I think to have a competitive edge is great. I mean,
it is good.
Yeah. It's like,
It pushes you. It's good.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes.
Exactly. And it's not like that's the funny thing. It's like where you can cheer someone else on and still feel like you can have that competitive edge. Like it's not about jealousy. It's more about like, it's like that person just motivated you.
It's
and
motivation. Yeah.
And gave you like ooh.
For me, they just give me that idea.
Yeah. And then you think,
Like a lot of times when you're walking,
Yeah.
you and I are talking, and I say, I'm sitting in my kitchen, and then I hear your breathing that you're walking your dog. And I think, darn it, we've been talking for half an hour.
Dana's gotten all those steps.
Yeah. You did all that exercise, and I'm still sitting here. Why didn't I think to get up and walk?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm always annoyed at myself. Like, why didn't I?
Right.
I just don't think of it.
Yeah.
First of all, if you call me and you're going to be walking, tell me, go out and walk.
Okay. Yeah. Well, sometimes you'll call me and you'll catch me on a walk, or I'll just like grab the dog and I'll know because sometimes it's just like I know that he needs a walk. Sometimes I just feel guilty that he hasn't walked all day, and then I go out and we start talking. But I'll remind you. I'll say, "Hey, I'm on a walk."
I know, because it's such an easy way to get.
I think if people had walking buddies, like if you have your best friend or your mom or anybody you say like, let's just walk together and we'll chat. It's like, how often are you sitting on a phone call on your butt? And then you're like, oh my God, we've been on the phone for 45 minutes. It's
I know. I'm
great.
always sorry that I wasn't walking.
Like we could have just been walking.
I could have been on the treadmill even.
Right, just getting in steps. Like you don't have to do anything crazy, but
it
just
makes
walking
it so
around.
easy, or be on the spinning
The person
bike.
who was really good at that, Greg inspired me with that. When we first met, he'd always like send me his steps, and it was like on his fitness tracker. It was like our thing, like when we started dating, and he'd have like 25,000, 30,000, 40,000. And I'm like, what the hell's with this guy? Like, what does he exercise all day? Like, this is so weird. And then when we'd start hanging out more and COVID happened, I realized, no, every time he took a work call, every time he'd be like, okay, I'll be right back. And he'd put in his earbuds, he'd take the call, and he just is walking and walking and pacing and walking. It didn't matter if it was his mom, his dad, a huge business meeting. It didn't matter. He just walks all over the place.
Yeah, that's great.
And then it got me,
it
started me thinking like, oh God, if I'm going to sit there and take a call, like anything that I don't have to be in front of my computer on a Zoom, like seeing things, like I'll say like, yeah, we'll do that. We could do the call. And a lot of times I take the calls and I say, let's go, Jag. We're going to go on a walk. And we loop around a few times.
I just don't think of it. And I'm always sorry.
Yeah. And really the NEAT, like that's what, it's called. It's that non-exercise, like it's just like the movement, that stuff really adds up. Mm-hmm. And also all the walking. The walking does trim down my legs too if I do enough of it.
Oh, yeah.
And right now my legs are feeling a little full, so I could probably need a little bit of walking in my life right now. But yeah, I think being competitive is good. I'm competitive with Greg sometimes, but he doesn't know it either. But I can never beat him because he's always gonna, like we both the other day after the company party, he was like, I'm going to do my cardio. And so he went running and I got on the treadmill and I did my run. And I did like a walk, run, jog thing on the treadmill it was almost an hour, but it's not like anything crazy, but it's like running, jogging, walking. And then he gets back from his.
This is after the company party at night?
No, not at night. The next morning when we were back on track.
Okay, I was
we're
going
back.
to say.
No. We went home and went to
bed.
bed. Oh, no. I'm talking about the next morning. We woke up. We were both like, oh my God, we ate so much. So he's like, I'm going to go on a run. Then. And so I was like, okay, I'll get on the treadmill because, he's going running. What, I'm going to sit there and like sip coffee and not, I would have. He puts on his running shorts and then he goes running. He comes back. I'm so like excited to like brag to him what I do. And I was like, I think I did maybe in the hour, I think I did like 3.5 miles or something because I'm like a slow runner. He did 10 miles and he's like, I burned 1,000 calories. And I was like, I burned like 400. And that's just like, wah. I can never beat him. It's like, I'll try, but he's just another level.
That's all right.
Well, But I tried, and I was like, okay, I got my steps. And then even then I took the girls to the mall, and I'm like, I'll get him with the steps at the mall, because how at the mall you get so many. And then I got home, and I had 15,000, 16,000 something. He had 35,000. Because then he put up all the Christmas lights, and he washed the car, and he's walking Jagger, and and I'm just like, oh, screw you, whatever. I don't know how he gets so many steps. But anyway, that's another episode. I'm going to have Greg on too. We're going to talk about all of his fitness mentality. His mentality is so different than ours.
Step tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably puts the watch on the dog's collar.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Except he shows up looking like he took a shower. He's like, it's drenched. But, he's, I'm going to have him on and we're going to talk about all of his philosophies. But anyway, this was fun today, Mom. Thanks for being on.
Kind of general, but.
No, that's all it was. It was just chit chat with Mom and light. That's what it's supposed to be. But yeah, and then we're going to try to make some more viral videos. Those viral videos really. Yeah. People keep commenting, we want to see your mom more. Now I'm like, are you following me for my mom? They're like, well, have your mom start a TikTok. It's like,
no, thanks.
I can just see you making content.
No, it's not happening.
No, exactly. I was like, yeah, fat chance. But I'll have you on anytime. Like, we'll do more stuff together. We'll do stuff together. We'll do content. We'll do content together. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And thank you for listening to another episode of Until It's Done, a Devoted podcast.